What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Today I'm going to talk about something which I told you I was going to talk about in my last video, my Get Ready With Me, that I have been talking about a lot recently, which is tracking your food. So if you watched one of my first videos, I think it was like my third video, which is why I don't track my calories or my food or anything like that and my initial experience with it. But I have started tracking again recently because I'm going away in January and I just want to feel confident by then. I want to be at a good place where I feel comfortable being in a bathing suit, being in public, because right now I probably wouldn't. So I just wanted to get to that point, and to do that I wanted to go on a little mini cut starting now, so that way by the time we get to January, I'm going to be feeling good about myself, I'll be feeling better, and I didn't have to cut out a ton of food, especially during the holidays. My birthday is right before I'm going away, so I wanted to not have to cut out a ton of stuff and really be overly strict about it, or like panic right before the trip and be like, oh my god, I'm not where I want to be, and then be stressed. So starting it now so I can just do it gradually. So I talked about my previous experience with tracking, and then in one of my other previous videos, which is a few down, I talked about how you can go through a cut in a bulk without tracking your food at all, which I did for quite a while. This time I just wanted to be a little more precise with it, and I really want to hit this goal, so I decided to start doing it again. So that's why I'm going to talk on here in this video about how you can track your food in a healthy way, mentally, basically, so that way it is an all-around healthy experience without tracking having to revolve around all of your days and your life in general, just not having to stress about it as much but still hitting your goals, because I think that's really important. And because of my previous experience with tracking my food being very bad on me mentally, I think it's important to share how you can still track your food if you do choose to do so and keep a sane mental state about it. So that's what we're going to talk about today. The first aspect of this is a routine, which I feel like is very simple. It is what it is. It's a routine. So for me, I go into work 3 days a week. I work from home 2 days a week. So Mondays and Fridays are my work from home days, and I have a routine that I do on those days. Getting up, going to the gym, doing work at this time, eating this at this time, whatever. I have a solid routine for those days. And then on my Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, when I go into work, I also have a routine. So on the way to work, I'm having this. When I get to work after a little bit, I'm having this. This is what I have for lunch. This is what I have for my pre-workout snack. Go to the gym after work, come home, and I eat dinner. So I have a pretty solid routine for that. And that really helps me to stay on track because, one, it makes it easier to log the food you're eating because you're eating for the most part the same things. That's why I think in terms of meal prepping, like I'm not really meal prepping, I'm just bringing the same type of little snacks with me. So that's super helpful. Just getting a routine down, whether you have one or you don't, if there's something you do each day of the week, get into that routine and sort of revolve it around that, if that makes sense. And I know people like to switch it up, but when it comes to like your snacks and everything, eating different things are going to be really helpful, or eating the same thing, is going to be really helpful, just in terms of tracking. And then especially if it's something towards your goals, like a high protein food, that's going to be super helpful. And once you get into a routine, it's going to be really easy to like build those healthy habits. So just find something that works for you in your day and then just stick by it. So having a routine is going to be so simple. And if your routine is different every day, I mean, it may be a little harder. And when I say routine, I mean like times that you're doing certain things on certain days. Keep that routine, stick by it, and then it'll be easier to just follow along with what you're doing. And so the next thing that I wanted to bring up for it is not tracking on the weekends. Now, obviously, if you have a deadline for something a lot sooner or whatever, again, I've talked about if you're like prepping or competing, that's a whole different ballpark than what I'm talking about. But don't track on the weekends. This was hard also for me to kind of get by because obviously that's 2 days. Maybe you count Friday night as a weekend, I don't know. But I decided to just not worry on the weekends. It makes your life so much easier. You don't have to revolve yourself around your phone and MyFitnessPal, tracking your food, scanning everything at the restaurant, trying to look everything up if you're going out. Like, it's annoying, it's a hassle. That's the other reason I wasn't tracking for a while too, is it's just a hassle, but it's annoying. You don't want to have to do it with everything that you do. So not tracking on the weekends is very nice. Keep in mind, so I'll still be mindful of what I eat when I go out to eat, but also if I want something, I'll get it if I'm craving that more than maybe like the better option, if that makes sense. I don't just think, okay, I'm not tracking on the weekends, I'm gonna eat, drink, everything in sight, but I just don't worry about it on the weekends, especially if I'm gonna be going out and doing stuff with my friends, with my boyfriend, whatever. Like, I don't wanna have to sit there and have to worry about it. And during the week, I have my routine. So I know, like, I'm not drinking during the week, I'm not going out anywhere. I can stick by my tracking routine. And the weekends are just kind of whatever we do, and I don't want to have to worry about tracking, and if I do go over calories, having to stress about it. So I've decided not tracking on the weekends has been very good for me, because I can still be mindful about what I'm eating, but also letting myself enjoy it. I'm not revolving everything I do around having to track something, and then come Monday, I start right back where I left off and have a great week. That's all you can really do. And that's why I think having that time to just not track and worry about it makes it that much easier during the week. And I feel like it's a very healthy mindset to have. Okay, so next is something that was super, super hard for me, which is not tracking every single little thing. And by that, I mean like supplements. Now, obviously, like a protein shake, a meal replacement type of thing like that is something different. You do want to track that. But pre-workout, like BCAAs, greens, I had to learn to not track those this time around, because up until then, that's the other thing. I became so obsessive with tracking everything. Excuse me. Lost my train of thought, tracked my pre-workout because I was like, oh, it has however many calories. If they have 15 calories. My BCAAs has 20 calories, whatever. I was like, calories are calories, so I would track them. And yeah, they have calories, but like the grand scheme of things, taking your pre-workout, like that's not coming in the way of your progress. So I had to get over that, and I had to learn, okay, I know technically these things say they have calories, but I'm just not going to worry about it. If it's powder, I'm not going to worry about it, unless, like I said, it's a protein shake or something. So don't be like me and get very obsessive over it, because then I'll be like, wow, if I didn't have my pre-workout, my BCAAs, post-workout drink, whatever, I would still have like 70 calories left in my day, something like that. So I had to learn to not do that, which was very hard. But don't be like me, don't obsess over little things like that. Just track your physical, food. Don't think about powders unless it's like a protein shake, whatever. And then basically the last thing is not being so obsessive over it, which I know that's the point of this whole video. But in terms of that, I mean by like weighing every single little thing, measuring every single little thing. I can't stop yawning. I swear. I only yawn when I'm like talking. Anyways. I mean, yeah, not measuring every single little thing, which not necessarily that I would do that, but I would just try and be so under portion that my estimate would be over and I would be on the safe side. Too many people obsess over weighing every single little thing, and again, that kind of takes over your life and takes over your day, and it's such a hassle to do. Maybe you enjoy doing it, I don't know, but to me, that's just such an extra hassle. And just get your closest estimate that you can. Like, it's not that big a deal. If you're a couple calories over, if you're a couple calories under from your estimate, like, you're gonna be fine. So, I swear, I'm so annoyed with this. But just don't be obsessive over it. I know it's easier said than done, But it's great that a lot of foods, especially with MyFitnessPal, I know a lot of apps do this anyways, other tracking apps, scanning your food, tells you the portion size or the serving size, makes it so simple, and you can kind of base it off that. And then just like if you do end up going out to eat during a weekday, or you get something, maybe you threw out the label, or you got takeout from somewhere, I don't know, whatever, and you don't have the information with you to enter in the accurate information, you can get something close to that. Typing in whether it's the ingredients or the meal, like you can get somewhat close to the thing you're eating and you'll be fine. I promise you, the amount of times I've yawned in this clip is ridiculous. Don't mind me, but just get as close as possible and don't stress about it. I know it's easier said than done, but this is the point of this video, is that you want to be able to track in a healthy, mentally healthy way, a sustainable way that you can continue doing and continue to reach your goals by not having it revolve around your entire life, around your entire day, always worried about tracking something wherever you go, blah, blah, blah. It's about sustaining healthy habits. So these are just things that I think you should keep in mind if you do choose to track, which, like I said in the video where I talk about tracking and whatever, my initial video about it, there's nothing against it, there's nothing wrong with it. Many people need to track, again, if you're competing or if you have a certain goal you're trying to reach by a certain time, or it's recommended by a doctor, whatever. Some people need to track, really want to track, whatever it is. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, but there are people like myself who, you know, we lift for a goal, but it's for ourselves. We're not aiming towards any particular thing in particular time, but sometimes these times come around where it's bulking season, cutting season, whatever, or like me, I have a vacation coming up, so I'm gonna amp up my nutrition and I want to go through a little deficit and get to a certain goal. And tracking's gonna assist me, so that's what I'm doing. But there's people who take it to an obsessive point, like I said, like I did. And in order for me to really not get to the point where I was, I really had to sit down and think about how I can make this a healthier habit for myself by continuing to still reach my goal. So I hope these tips were a little helpful for you guys, as they were with me. Like I said, I've been doing this for a couple weeks now and I'm feeling great. I'm a few pounds down, but personally, it's not about the exact weight for me. It's not about the number. It's about how I look, basically, which I know sounds a little vain, but also if you are into the whole fitness community, the fitness idealism, you know that weight doesn't matter. It's not about the weight, which honestly, I know I don't look how much I weigh. The scale would look a lot differently. I don't know. Anyways, you don't look how you weigh half the time, especially if you are actively lifting. I'm not going to get into that because it's not the point of this video, but it's not about the numbers for me, but I want to look a way that makes me feel comfortable if I were to be in a bathing suit for a 10-day period, which is most likely what is going to happen when I am going on vacation in January. So I want to feel comfortable in my skin and in like being on vacation and eating all-inclusively, drinking all-inclusively for 10 days. Like, I want to feel comfortable in my skin, so I have this goal that I want to reach, and so that's what I'm basing it on. And I've been having great success so far with tracking. Like, I'm gradually getting to a certain point. I haven't been overly hungry. Sometimes I get a little hungry, so I'll have a little something, or maybe it's just too late at night, or it's getting later, and I'm like, I just really don't need anything right now. But it has been going well for me so far in that sense, where I'm still getting to my goal, but also I feel a lot better because mentally I am having a completely different viewpoint. Like I said, it's so great just not worrying about it on the weekends, and it's great not having to obsess about every single little thing. I just take my pre-workout, don't track it, like little things like that. So I hope this was helpful if you are someone who does decide that you want to track, or you have been tracking and you found you are in the same situation as me where you feel like it's a little more obsessive. I hope it's helpful. If you don't want to track still, you can refer to my video that I made about how you can bulk and cut without tracking. But just remember to keep a healthy mindset. It's not all about, your life does not have to revolve around a fitness app on your phone. So keep that in mind. I hope this was helpful. My next video, like I said, I do want to reorganize my activewear. I don't know when that will be, maybe like next Monday. I'm not really sure, but I have some other videos planned for you guys, if not in the meantime. So like I said, hopefully this is helpful. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.